Hey, what's up guys? JZAB here, and today we're going to be opening this box of Paradox Rift. I've been talking about Paradox Rift a lot lately, basically, or mainly because I want the Groudon from this box. I want it real bad. I've actually pulled a decent amount of the chases from this box. I still need the Roaring Moon. I still need the Groudon. Those are two cards I'm really hoping to pull from today, so hopefully we do. If you guys like content like this, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free for you and it helps me out immensely, so thanks in advance for that. I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get opening. Hey guys, real quick, I need to pick the winner of this week's JZAB mystery pack. That's right, every Friday I give away one JZAB mystery pack to one lucky subscriber that comments and likes and is a subscriber to my last Friday's video. So this Friday I'm giving away one pack, and then next Friday I'll be giving away another pack for anybody that comments on this video, as long as you're subscribers. So yeah, we do it every Friday, and today I need to pick the winner from last week. So here we go. Yeah, let's do it. So here is the video from last week. It was my opening my last Astral Radiance booster box video. 92 total comments, so thank you everybody that commented, appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and copy our that noise was loud. We're gonna copy our URL and we're gonna go over to our YouTube random comment picker. Plop that in right there. Filter duplicate users, so no matter how many times you comment, you still only have one chance of winning. Just one winner, and then we just have to do our little math problem here to see how many unique comments we get. 44, so you got a 1 in 44 chance of winning the mystery pack. Good luck everybody, and I hope you win. So here we go. Ready? The winner of this week's JZAB mystery pack is Jared Wiggins 3053. Yahoo. I don't know what. Anyway, Jared, congratulations on the big win. Congratulations, my man. So all you gotta do is just make sure you email me. My email is in the description of the video. Email me and we'll get the pack to you as soon as I can. So yeah, anybody else, if you want a JZAB mystery pack, the new 2.0 JZAB mystery packs, then just be a subscriber, like this video, comment on this video, and then next week I'll pick a new winner. So that's it. Thanks everybody for playing, and hopefully you win next week. So okay, I'll see you guys. Go back to the other video. Here we go. All right, here we go. I'm stoked about this. I'm excited. Paradox Rift, man. I feel like this is like the forgotten child of the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet scene, because it kind of got passed over very quickly. This box is also kind of messed up. It got passed over very quickly. There's put this over here. There's like a, I don't know, man. Paradox Rift just kind of, all of these having this silver top is kind of weird. Paradox Rift, man, it just kind of, I don't know. People kind of quickly forgot about it. I feel like it wasn't the greatest set in the world. There's still some dope cards out of here, but yeah, it's just kind of, like I said, it just kind of got passed over very quickly. So I'm here to take it back. Here we go. Let's hope that we can get some dope cards out of this set today. I'm excited. We'll see. All these cards, the border on the right side is thin, the left side is pretty thick. I'm just critiquing now. I don't know why. I want some good pulls out of this today. Yeah! Okay, first pack magic immediately. The Espathra. Espathra illustration rare. Actually, this card is super sick. I don't know what is happening in the background. If that's like a raid or something, I don't know. This card's amazing. I love it. This is what I'm talking about, when it's like, there's certain stuff where it's like, when you see it like on a computer or a picture or whatever, it's kind of just like, okay, whatever. And then you actually see the card in person and you're kind of like, oh my God, it's amazing. This is one of those cards. Immediately I was drawn to this, like, oh my goodness. It looks like there's like somebody, like it looks like somebody's going Super Saiyan back over here, and the Espathra is just kind of sitting there like, okay, well, we'll deal with that when it comes. All right, good start to the day. Here we go. Yeah, every single one of these having that. Look at, you can see the next pack right there. It's just kind of weird. At first, looking at this, when I first opened it, it looked like it had all the rigid edges. I thought this was a fake booster box. I for a half a second, my heart skipped a beat. So I was just like, no. Yeah, Paradox Rift, man, there's a lot of good cards in this set. And honestly, I was looking through the set list here right before I started opening this, and I've actually pulled a decent amount of like the higher chase cards. But there's definitely some, I like the Roaring Moon, I still want. The Groudon, I still want. The Iron Valiant and the Iron Hands, I'd take both of those too. So, I mean, there's still some that I still need and want from this set. So, that's about it. This set, where it sits on the totem pole for me for Scarlet and Violet. Honestly, it's kind of hard to say. I feel like this and Temporal Forces are very interchangeable sets. I feel like I like personally, I like this set better than Temporal Forces, art-wise, like for the chase cards and stuff. Temporal Forces was better for the meta and had better like playable cards, but this set I feel like artwork-wise kind of knocks Temporal Forces out of the park. So I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? That's my personal opinion. And that's why I started looking a little bit to see if I could find this set rather cheap. I got this booster box kind of cheap recently. It was like around 90 bucks, which to me is pretty reasonable for the box. I will take that. Anything 90 bucks or cheaper for a booster box, I will usually not pass that up. But yeah, I wouldn't mind opening more and more of this set. This is one set I feel like I wouldn't mind pulling all of the hits and completing it myself rather than trying to buy singles. It's just my personal opinion on it. Ooh, I like that Porygon too. Yeah, hollow. All right, first pack magic, and then since then, you know, somebody was talking the other day. I think it might have been who was it? Goose? I don't know, but they were talking about getting a booster box and like just how like, you know, the little kid inside of them is screaming, and it's like, it's so cool, like remembering back in the day, going to like a card store and seeing the booster box and being like, I just want two, and they just like pull two for you, you know. And now I'm an adult that can waste their money, and I just rip through 36 packs in one sitting like nothing. But it's every time though, I still have that little bit of like I get like that little bit of like very excitement, like, oh my god, I can't believe I could do this now. I can't believe I can just sit here and open an entire booster box. It's crazy to think how far and how long ago and how old I am now. Like just a whole mix, a bag of emotions, you know. And yeah, I don't even really know what I'm saying here. It's just like, it's just so crazy. Like, yeah, just a mixed emotions. Like, I'm so excited. It's so cool that I could do this now. But then it's like, you remember like childhood, and like, I remember there's this card store like in the downtown of where I lived. Like, I lived in the suburbs. Oh, nice. Okay, I kind of messed that up, but that's good. Hey, that's a good card. Tapu Koko EX full art. I'll take it. The ultra rare. I like this card. Ooh, Tapu Koko. The Tapus, I'm not even like the biggest fan of. Ooh, I need more sleeves. But this specifically, Tapu Koko, has got some pretty dope cards. So I will take those all day. Let me open up some new cards real quick. And by cards, I meant sleeves. So I got a new stack of sleeves. But yeah, anyway, so there was this card shop down. There was a candy store in my downtown, and then right next, like they shared like a building, and right next door was a card shop. So with me and my buddies, you know, we'd save our allowance or whatever, and we'd ride down there, and we'd go to the candy store, and we'd get some candy, and then we'd go next door, and we'd look at all the Pokemon cards in the case, and we would buy like a pack or two, you know, and then we'd ride all the way back home and save them till we got home, and then open them and stuff. And it's just, every time I open a booster box, like it brings up all these emotions of like simpler times, you know. Before I had to worry about paying for bills and worrying about adult things, when I could just ride my bike to the candy store, get a giant pixie stick and some gummy worms for like change. You know, my parents would leave me like change during the summer on the table. So I'd go there with like whatever, like $1 and buy like, you know, 75 cents worth of candy that would fill my pocket. And then go next door and spend, you know, $3 on a pack of cards or whatever, and wait till I got home to open it. Just good times, man. Good times. That's what this reminds me of. Brings me back to the good old days. That's all. Reminiscing is fun. And that's back when it was like, man, I used to be, when I was a kid and they first started coming out with Pokemon cards, base set was like my go-to. I always wanted to do base set or jungle. those were the two sets that I always wanted to open a ton of. Because back then, I wanted the evolutions from the jungle, and the base set, I just liked the base set because it had a Venusaur in it. Venusaur was my thing. I wanted a Venusaur real bad. And I ended up trading for one at a garage sale, actually. I had my like cards, you know, in a binder. Okay, all right. It's a hit. Bombardier EX. I'll take it. It's not the greatest hit in the world, but it's a hit. But yeah, so me and my buddy, his parents were having a garage sale, and what we did is we sat at a table. We each had our binder of Pokemon cards, and we wrote on there like, you know, for trade or sale or whatever. And there was some kids that came along, and we traded. So I ended up getting a Venusaur. I traded a Venusaur for a Blastoise base set. And that's how I got my first Venusaur, was I traded away a Blastoise because I didn't care much for I had multiples, but I didn't care much for Blastoise. So I was like, whatever, I don't care. And I got a Venusaur. And then also when we were doing that, I traded for something. I'd never gotten a Kangaskhan. I've never even seen one. And somebody had it, and I traded something for a Kangaskhan. I don't remember what I traded for the Kangaskhan, but that's how I got my first Kangaskhan too, was I traded for it. So at a garage sale with some other kids. That was the 90s were a fun time. Let me tell you, they were a hoot and a holler. That's all I gotta say about that. So anyway, yeah, nostalgia. That's whenever I start opening a booster box, I just kind of think about all that kind of stuff, and I always think about how, like, man, if I could turn back time, or if I could time travel, I would buy so many boxes of base sets. So many. It would be ridiculous. You know, obviously hindsight 2020, nobody would have even thought about how Pokemon has exploded. You know, back then it was popular, like, don't get me wrong, but it being as crazy popular as it is now, back then, you would have never thought back then. But yeah, and then the card game blowing up. You know, the thing too is, what's crazy is, like, when I was a kid, the first thing I wanted to do when Pokemon cards came out and stuff is I wanted to learn how to play it and play it. That was like, the collecting aspect wasn't even like a thing to me. I was like, I don't care, I just want to play the game. So you know, I had my brothers teach me and stuff, and I always used to be like, let's play Pokemon, let's play Yes! Brute Bonet! Let's go. The illustration rare. All right, we're getting it now, guys. This is all right. Now we're kind of flowing. It's only been a couple hits up to this point, but this card's ridiculous. It reminds me of the Baxcalibur. Is that from Paldea Evolved or Scarlet and Violet? Anyway, the Baxcalibur looks very similar to this. I like it. The art style's cool. Brute Bonet. But yeah, so that was when I was a kid. That was the thing. I wanted to learn how to play first. The collecting part was just like secondary. Like, I was just like, I want my favorite mons, but I want to collect what I want to do to play the game, you know. And I'm trying to remember what my deck was way back in the day. I'm sure it was Charizard. Dude, I had so many Charizards. When I was a kid, it was ridiculous. Now I'm just going down memory lane. So also, here, let me tell you guys another story. So back in the day, back when Pokemon cards, my brother was the first one to pull a Charizard. He pulled a Charizard, and he had it, like, you know, sleeved and in a top load, all that stuff, because it was Charizard, you know. And one day, I was telling these kids, I was in like 4th grade, I think. I want to say I was in 4th grade. I was telling these kids about how my brother pulled the Charizard, and they're like, no, there's no way, it's too rare, he didn't do it, you're lying, blah blah blah. So I was like, fine, whatever. Next day, I snuck into his room before school, and I grabbed it, and I like put it in my backpack, and I brought it to school to show everybody. And like, everybody was, oh my god, I can't believe it, you know, freaking out. And it became like an issue on like the playground. And so my teacher had to come and like kind of like break it up, because like everybody was like freaking out and screaming and like all in like and the teacher thought there was something going on, you know, and then so they ended up like contacting my parents for some reason. I don't remember, I was young, you know, I don't remember exactly what happened, but they ended up contacting my parents and saying like, hey, he can't bring this to school anymore or whatever because it's a distraction. Maybe it was happening during class, not recess, I don't know. But they were basically like, yo, it's a distraction. Don't let him bring us to school anymore. And that's how my parents and my brother found out that I brought his Charizard to school. And they were not happy. They were not happy. Let's just say, if anybody out there has an older brother, I got my butt whooped for doing that. Okay, all right, Mewtwo EX, let's go. I actually really love this card. This is like one of my favorite EXs of the modern era. So I love Mewtwo too. But yeah, my parents gave me a stern talking to, and then my brother gave me a nice butt whooping for taking his stuff. Worth it, by the way. Worth it just for the clout. You know, back in the day, I was like one of the cool kids then for like a week because everybody was like, he's got a Charizard. Oh, his family has a Charizard, you know. Yeah, so, yep, that's down memory lane, man. Good times. That's what I'm saying, man. You know, I talk about it a lot, but I love Pokemon. I love the IP, everything about it. It's been part of my life. I mean, that's how long Pokemon cards have been in my life, since 4th grade, you know, so... And Pokemon since even before that. When did Pokemon come to America? 95, 96? I would have been like 7 or 8 when I first started playing Pokemon. So that's how long Pokemon hit. I got it for Christmas. I got a Game Boy, a Slim Pocket. What do they call it? Pocket? I got a Game Boy Pocket and Pokemon Red, I believe. Or Blue? I don't remember. No, I got Blue because I got a red Game Boy and I wanted Pokemon Red to be red and red. And I got Blue and anyway. So I immediately started playing that game the second it came out. And I've been playing Pokemon ever since, man. So it's been a wild ride, everybody. That's all I gotta say. Been a wild ride. All right, Gligar. Man, this is why I'm talking. This is what I always talk about with Paradox Rift. Look at this. Okay, so I'm about to be through half this box. I got 5 pulls. That's it. That's not great. That's what I'm saying. Paradox Rift, man, it's got some. I just opened this backwards. It's got some good cards in it, but the hit rates are bad. Like the pull rates are not good, and that's part of the reason that I feel like people don't really talk about this set or gave up on it. I mean, even the most expensive card, the Roaring Moon EX, $57. That's it. Next card down, Groudon, which is my main chase from this set, and I've been chasing it since the beginning, $46. And then the next one drops off 28, 27, 25, 20, 18, 18, 18, you know. So even this set is really not, there's not a whole lot of expensive cards in this set, so. Groudon. Yeah, rough pull rates right there, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. 5 out of, what is this, 18 packs? At least you guys are joining me for a trip down memory lane. Tell me about your first Pokemon experience. I'd like to hear it. Honestly, I'm interested. Like, what are your guys' first memories with Pokemon? Because those are mine. Like, those are my first, like core I remember that stuff like it was yesterday. Like, and it all has to do with Pokemon, man, and love of Pokemon and sharing Pokemon with people. So you guys tell me about what are your favorite Pokemon memories? What is your first Pokemon memory? Is it your favorite Pokemon memory? What are some bad Pokemon? I don't know. Just tell me something. Tell me down in the comments below. I'm interested. I like that kind of stuff because not everybody picked it up at the same time, you know? I started with Red and Blue. There's a lot of people that started with Scarlet and Violet, or they started with, you know, Black and White, or and those are like, you know, so it's interesting to see people's takes on stuff. Like I said, I dropped Pokemon cards for a long time. I think the last set that I opened when I was like younger, when I was seriously collecting, I want to say was Team Rocket. I think I opened, I don't remember the order, but I opened base set, Fossil, Jungle, and Team Rocket, and I think that was it. I don't think I collected any Pokemon cards after that for a very long time. And then the next set I opened was Team Up. I'm pretty sure, because while I was in the middle ages there, my middle ages, I was more into Yu-Gi-Oh. I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh because a lot of my friends were like, no, Pokemon's for babies. I don't want to play Pokemon. And I also really like Yu-Gi-Oh, so I'd be like, well, how about Yu-Gi-Oh? And they'd be like, okay, that seems more like a, you know. And for a long period of time there, in the middle of my lifetime, I was playing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I actually am currently I am in the process. Yo, let's go! Another card I need. Yes, more Petco illustration. See, this is what I'm talking about. Just give me cards I need, and the Groudon. That's all I'm asking. Cards I need and Groudon. This card is actually pretty dope. He's the hangry Morpeko. He's so hangry, but he likes the sweets though. Look at him. All right, let's go. Let's go. That's actually a dope card. I actually really like that card. I don't know. I still kind of feel like that Esparthra is my favorite out of my pulls so far today. Just that Super Saiyan in the background is just super cool. Yeah, so anyway, I'm actually currently creating a Pokemon tabletop Dungeons and Dragons so that I could play it with like my friends and family and stuff. I'm like almost done. I have been just working on converting Pokemon into Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So basically, now I'm going to tell you guys about that. You're along for the ride, so you're watching the video, you're going to listen. So basically what I'm doing is everybody's going to be a trainer, right? Instead of like a warrior or a mage or whatever, you're going to be a Pokemon trainer. And everybody is only going to get 3 Pokemon. So you can't get 6, you're only going to get 3 Pokemon. And how I'm going to work it is basically your Pokemon are going to replace your weapons. So if anybody knows anything about Dungeons and Dragons, right? You have like a long sword that has like a THAC0 and a damage. So what I'm going to do is each Pokemon is going to have its own THAC0 and damage. And then I'm going to have it be like, so what I did is right now I'm just doing just the OG 151. So I'm just doing red and blue, but I went through all of the moves that are in red and blue and I converted them all into Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So like, you know, for an example, it's like, okay, Bubble, you know, it's a ranged attack that does like 1d6 -1, and you have a 10% chance to reduce somebody's speed. Like that's an attack, and that's one Pokemon's attack. So I have it that you're going to share, excuse me, you're going to share attributes with the Pokemon. So whatever Pokemon you have currently out, like it's going to be like you have kind of like a psychic link with them. So your strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, all that stuff is going to be shared with your Pokemon. And depending on what Pokemon you have equipped, which you're going to be able to have 3, they're going to give you a stat boost. So like if you have a fire Pokemon currently in your party, then you get, yes, let's go, dude. Okay, see, now we're getting the hits. And also I love the full art trainer cards. You guys know this. Chantal got the weirdest shoulder pads in Pokemon history, but this is a dope card. It's just so weird. But let's go. All right, come on, guys. See, this is why I wanted to open Paradox Rift. I actually really like this set. I do personally. I just want the Groudon. I'm gonna keep talking about it. But yeah, okay, so I have it so like, okay, so fire Pokemon, you get a +1 to your strength. Psychic Pokemon, you get +1 to your intelligence. Grass Pokemon, +1 to your wisdom. So all 3 of your Pokemon give you +1 to each stat. So if you really want to focus on being an attacker, then you could have 3 fire Pokemon. Or if you really want to focus on being like a ninja, like sneaky, okay, well then you put 3 ghost Pokemon because that's dexterity or whatever, you know what I mean? Something like that. So then you get +3 boost. And then if anybody, again, if you know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, depending on your stats, you have like superhuman feats and stuff. So I have it, you know, you got to roll for your character, and the highest that you could get is 18+, right? Because you roll 3 6-sided die, and that's how you get your attributes. By the way, I play Dungeons and Dragons Advanced 2.0. That's the version that I play. I don't play like the new 5e stuff. I have played it. Let me clarify. I DM Advanced 2.0. I have played with my friends 5e, where my buddy was DMing. So I have played that, but I like 2.0 the best. Again, that was what I came into Dungeons and Dragons with. But anyway, to roll your character up, you need 3 6-sided die. You roll them together. The max you can do is 18. That's like, they compare that to like Hercules. You know, you have Herculean strength or whatever. Herculean strength. Nice. Tapu Koko. I told you, whatever. Why certain Pokemon, they just really do right by the artwork, and Tapu Koko is one of them. In my opinion, I feel like most Tapu Koko artwork in these cards is amazing. In Pokemon cards in general, I just think is awesome. But So yeah, 18 plus is like superhuman, like you're a superhuman. So what I did is 18 plus is going to give you different boosts. Like, so if you have three, like I said, 3 fire Pokemon and you get +3 to your attack and you rolled a 15 for your attributes, or your attributes are a 15, that gives you 18. So now you can use strength without having to have it as one of the attacks on one of your Pokemon. So you just know strength because you're that strong with your Pokemon. As long as you and your Pokemon are together, you could use strength. And then I also have like where it adds to your damage output. So it's like you automatically add 1d6 to all damage that you do. Or if it's like stab, you know, if you're a grass Pokemon and you're using grass, you get 1d10 plus, you know. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I'm almost done with all of the setup. I have most of it done. The last couple things that I got to figure out. So like I said, I went through, I did all of the attacks and I converted them all to Dungeons and Dragons type of stuff. I have went through and I figured out all the attribute boosts depending on typing. I did that, and I figured out all of the starter Pokemon. So I tried to do like pretty much one of every type of Pokemon. I have Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Clefairy, obviously, Pidgey, Pikachu, Machop, and Grimer. So those are like my starters. And how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna do like a quiz. So I'm gonna start it off. I'm just gonna tell you guys this whole thing. So I hope you enjoy it. So I'm gonna start it off with like, I'm gonna have everybody be like at like an orphanage or whatever, and I'm gonna be the Pokemon professor, and I'm gonna explain everything to them. But I'm gonna do just like regular Pokemon. Like, okay, I'm gonna explain all the differences between regular Dungeons and Dragons in this version, and I'm gonna make it like a class. Like, okay, I'm the professor, you're in an orphanage, and I'm gonna sit there and explain what the difference is in, and how your Pokemon relate to you, and how you share attributes with them, why you share attributes with them, how to get the plus to all your stuff, you know. And then at the end of it, I'm gonna be like, okay, and now today you're gonna take a quiz, and depending on that is gonna pick your type of person, right? So if you answer this and this way, you get a Clefairy. If you answer this and this way, you get a Charmander, and that's how you have to start off. The other things that I'm going to be making, like there's so many, I got so many ideas. So I'm also going to make it that you can't catch Pokemon in this, right? I'm going to make it that only certain like Wrangler types can catch Pokemon, or if you're a champion. So once you beat the Elite Four, then you could catch some Pokemon. So you're sitting there telling yourself, well, that's not how it goes. How are your players going to get more Pokemon? Well, what I have also done is, or what I'm going to do is, I'm also going to introduce raids into this. So there's going to be randomly pop up. It's going to be like a raid, like in Pokemon Go, you know, it's going to be like a gym or whatever that pops up. And there's going to be one Pokemon at the top that the players are going to have to battle against. And it's going to be one super powerful Pokemon. Like the first one I think I'm going to do is going to be like a Snorlax. So they're going to have, it's going to be, I'm going to do it like right after Brock's gym. So they're going to have to get through Viridian Forest, fight Brock's gym, and then do a raid. And it's going to be like a Snorlax. And it's just going to be like a regular raid in like Pokemon Go. So everybody is going to have to fight against one big Snorlax that's going to be able to attack everybody at the same time, and they're going to have to take it down. And then instead of everybody catching a Snorlax, because it's like, you know, I don't want to do it like that, I'm going to have everybody, it's going to be random. So they're going to get a Pokemon egg for beating a raid. Nice. Okay, actually this Toxtricity card is also dope. I'm telling you, I really like the terrestrialized EX cards like this because of the texture. I think it's fantastic. I like them a lot. Even though they're hiding the hats, I don't care. I like it. And I've been talking a long time since we got a hit, so that's also good. But yeah, because in true Dungeons and Dragons style, you know, it's going to be like you got to roll, and then that, you know, so I'm going to do percentile. So the first roll is going to be, okay, what type of Pokemon is your egg? So is it fire, ghost, normal, you know, psychic, whatever. And then depending on that, okay, well, there's a total of whatever, 6 ice Pokemon in the first 151. So then you're going to roll a 1d6, and depending on what that 1d6 is, that's going to be the Pokemon you get. But I'm going to do it like, you can't get a Dugong out of an egg, you know, it's going to be a seal or like whatever, you know. And then Articuno is probably not going to be in there. I don't think I'm going to do legendaries in the eggs because they can't breed and stuff, but I got to figure out how I want to do that. But yeah, so that's how they're gonna get more Pokemon. So it's all gonna be based on the rolls of the die. You know, but you got to beat the raid first to do it. So I'm gonna do that, and then the other thing I have planned is for Pokemon gyms and stuff. I'm gonna have, because you know, depending on how many people you got, if you're playing with 3 or 6 or 8, you got to have the appropriate amount of baddies to fight against your team. You can't just have, you know, 2 Pidgeys fight against 6 people with Charmanders. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have it be like Brock is going to partner up with the 2 trainers in his gym, you know, and you're gonna have to fight them all at the same time. And it's gonna be that they're gonna have to take out all the Pokemon, and then to end it, it's going to be a Mega Evolution. So you know, it's gonna have a Mega Steelix or whatever, something like that, you know, like I'm gonna do like a Mega, and then it's gonna be very similar to like the raid. So it's gonna be like, all right, you beat these 6 Pokemon, but then Brock finishes it with a Mega Evolution, and then that Pokemon can, you know. So I'm gonna do something like that. And then it's gonna be like forests and dungeons. I mean, Pokemon already has forests and dungeons and stuff, so I'm just gonna have to turn those into having like traps, and I have to figure out still how to make like HMs into like part of traps, and how to figure that kind of stuff out without it just being very like basic, like there's a tree in your way, you need to use cut to cut it. You know what I mean? I want to do something a little more fun than that. Like they gotta somehow combine 2 HMs to do something. Like they gotta use Flash and Surf at the same time, or you know what I mean, like something like that. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go. Okay, guys, there we go. This whole booster box was worth it. I was getting kind of scared that I was rambling a lot, but I was getting scared. This card's amazing. Look at this. Ooh, it's good stuff. It's not a Groudon. It's not quite a Groudon, but you know what? I guess I'll take it. This card's dope. Roaring Moon is one of my favorite Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. It's definitely the Paradox Pokemon. It's definitely my favorite Paradox Pokemon. I do like Screamtail too a lot, but definitely my favorite. This card actually looks like it's in very good shape. Hold on. Yeah, it's nothing. The centering actually looks very good. Everything about this actually looks super fire. So, yes. Yes. This is a good day. Talking about Dungeons and Dragons and Pokemon and pulling a Roaring Moon. Claps in chat. All right. We have 2 packs left, and that's got a couple illustration rares out of the whole thing. Not the greatest hit percentage though, because what are we at? We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only had 10 hits. That's not good. I mean, a normal booster box, you want to get 12. 12 plus is like a good. Typically, you don't get less than 12. So having only 10 in a booster box, that's what I'm saying. Paradox Rift, man, I feel like they kind of did it real dirty with the pull rates, and it's a good set. There's a lot of good artwork in it, and a lot of good cards. I'm mad that they did that to my boy. Okay, see, I'm talking about 12, and now they're gonna give me 2 EXs at the end to be like, no, you got 12 hits. You got 12 hits. Yes, let me, I mean, if you guys like my idea about the Pokemon Dungeons and Dragons, let me know. Tell me down below. Tell me tons of stuff. Comment all the time, always and forever. All right, last pack magic, last pack of Paradox Rift. This was a killer booster box, honestly. The Espathra, the Brute Bonnet, and the Roaring Moon, and the Morpeko, all cards I needed. I don't know about the Chantal. All cards I needed. Oh, actually, no, I got the Brute Bonnet before. Actually, so can we just end with a Groudon, and I'll be satisfied. I don't know why it's so hard to pull that Groudon, but it's making me angry. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Yeah, anyway. All right, well, it's been fun talking about Pokemon and Dungeons and Dragons with you guys. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I've been playing it, like I said, since about the same time, probably since I was like in 4th grade. And it's just nothing but good. I have 2 bad memories about Dungeons and Dragons, but maybe if you guys are ever interested, hit me up on my live streams and I'll tell you about them. Not good stories. This is a troll, dude, straight up. Look, I haven't pulled like hardly any of these, and then I'm looking for it last pack and whatever. Okay, hold on. All right, guys, so here are our pulls from today. Definitely the best one. Roaring Moon. fantastic. Second best is, I think, this Espathra. I really like this card. The artwork is fantastic. Not my most favorite Pokemon in the world, but I love it. Next up, I don't know. I think this Tapu Koko is fantastic. I think that they do a really good job with this Pokemon in general. And then we got the Brute Bonnet and the Morpeko. Morpeko is actually pretty sweet too. So very cool, very awesome. 11 out of 36 packs. That's not great, man. Honestly, like I said, normally on the low end you get 12. So only getting 11 and 5 of them being regular, yeah, not great, not great. But this is what they did to my boy. Paradox Rift is just rough to pull from. I had a ton of fun. I hope you did too. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, I opened a store. If you want to buy some stuff, go check it out. I'll put the link down there. It's also in the description of the video. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you later. Peace.